Hey there folks, this is GreenyXI welcoming you right back to Let's Play Danganronpa 2. This is episode 50. In the last episode, we wrapped up chapter 5 and Jackie just accidentally, or unluckily, turned out to be the killer without actually really meaning to. And yeah, we finished off the chapter, so that's about all that happened. Oh yeah, and the world sort of started to dissolve digitally because the bomb, the timer that's been going on throughout the game, went off. So what we're going to see in chapter 6 is not exactly chapter 6, but you'll see. It's going to be the after effects, I guess. Let's get going because it is a pretty good one. Chapter 0, not chapter 6 at all. Head into the school trip. You'd think that would be prequel, wouldn't it? Chapter 0, the title. Well, there we go. It would be wrong to say it was swaying from side to side. It was actually shaking rather intensely. I don't know if you can hear it in the background because of how I do the sound or whatever. It's like ship creaking noises. The room I was in, it was shaking from side to side. The shaking was quite irregular. Just when you thought it was a series of small shakes, it would suddenly shake violently. And every time that happened, I'd have to steady myself with my foot. I couldn't stand up very well, but for me, it was comforting. I never thought not knowing what to expect could be so fun, so I was feeling rather excited. But I figured I'd get bored of that feeling soon enough. That's what I was expecting. For me, a person who is loved by talent, detecting regularities among irregularities won't be that difficult. Ah, how boring. Oh, hello. Do you like ships? On the other side of the dark room, I heard a voice. It was clearly directed at me. Ah, you looked like you were having fun, so that's what I assumed. You do like ships, right? Ships? Ah, that's right, that's it. So this is a ship. Ah, you just realised that now? Is it really that funny? Hey, if you want, care to talk a little? The silence was starting to bore me. Instantly I saw his true character. The over-familiar attitude, the friendly smile. But under that thin skin, I could detect a foul, offensive odour, like some kind of putrid slime. In a sensible way, of course. How should I put this? It was a smell exclusive to those who are already finished. Nice to meet you. I'm Nagito Komaeda. Anyway, lucky me. It's been a while since anyone who was willing to talk to me, so to share a room with a person like that. Yep, I'm definitely lucky. Lucky? Ah, so that's your talent then. What a boring talent. A boring talent, huh? Well, that's exactly what it is. But for someone I'm meeting for the first time to say that so suddenly, that's because I have luck as well. Even I possess a talent as boring as luck. Possess, huh? I'm starting to get really interested. Who are you? You're obviously from Hope Speak Academy too, right? So you're one of us? Ah, but that's weird. That's the first time I've ever seen you. Hey, can you tell me why you're here? How did you end up here? How boring. Ah, sorry. I'm often told I'm terrible at making conversation. Not you. This world. Huh? This world is full of boring people. People who lack talent stick together and oppress those who do possess talent. Even though they know they're insignificant, they don't try to acknowledge their true superiors. They're profoundly desperate to drag them down to their level. And because of these bastards, this world has come to a deadlock. This world has stopped evolving. How boring. Well, the world is shaped by the will of the majority. It makes sense that it bends to those who lack talent. That's why we're in our present situation. Ah, perhaps. Does that have anything to do with the reason you're here? Boring people make no contributions to the world, not even a speck of dust. That's why my teachers taught me that a certain degree of selection must be performed. Looks like they had high expectations for you, huh? That's completely different from me. But what do you plan to do? Now that you've ended up like this, there's nothing you can do, right? Listen well, using people is a talent too. It's now my turn to use that person just as they used me in the past. That person? Talking about ultimate despair? But how? I mean, they're already... I have it with me. The contribution that person left me. Even now, it rests in my pocket. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm definitely lucky. Can't believe I'm speaking with someone as amazing as you. Then will I be able to see her again? Will I be able to see the person I hate with every fibre of my being again? And this time, will I be able to kill her this time? The person I hate so much? Hate? Then explain your hand. Ah, this. The end of that bandage. Is a woman's hand, right? Isn't it amazing? I can't move it, of course. I mean, it's not my hand after all. But even now, it still isn't rotted. Hey, maybe that means it's becoming one with me. Isn't it amazing? I've successfully become one with ultimate despair, my sworn enemy. I see, so you salvaged the body. You really are a boring person. I don't want you to misunderstand. I just see her as my enemy, you know? Because she's my sworn enemy, because I hate her so much. That's why I took her power, and for that, Wait, huh? Do I hate her? Huh? That's strange. Look at the window. We're finally here. You're starting to see it too, right? That's Jabberwock Island, isn't it? Isn't it exciting? I wonder what's going to happen on that island once we get there. What's going to happen? I can already predict what will happen. I already know because I'm loved by talent. But no matter what happens, it's of no concern to me. I'll not be able to participate in what lies ahead. Really? I don't really understand, but I guess we have to part ways for a while. That's disappointing. We seem to get along pretty well. Hey, can I see you again? There's no reason we'll ever meet again. After all, you were boring. Your talent, your thoughts, your entire existence is boring to me. You really don't play along, do you? Who could it be? Okay. Guess that's the end of chapter 0. Got to see that Nagito knew a mystery person. God knows. Huh? What is this? Oh, a door. After the world crumbled. It's a door. Yep, that's a door. Yes, it is. A door? Oh my god. Why is a door here? Where am I? How did I get here? Where am I supposed to go? Ooh, where have we been led to this time? Oh, a classroom. Like from the first game. Huh? Isn't this a classroom? But even so, it's a very strange classroom. Why am I in a place like this? I went inside the ancient ruin with everyone else. And I arrived at a place that looked like a trial ground. But then, why? It's not connecting. I don't know why I'm here. It's like there's no connection between how I left the trial ground and how I ended up here. It's just like before, when we were all gathered in that classroom, just before we arrived at Jabberwock Island. But where is this place? Is it somewhere on Jabberwock Island?
Testing. Mic check 1, 2. This is a test of the school broadcast system. Am I on? Can everyone hear me? Okay, well then. Welcome to Hope Speak Academy, you guys. At this point, I shall explain the graduation exam to you all. So please assemble at the gymnasium immediately.
Okay. Huh? Did he say what I think he just said? Yes, he definitely said it. He said, welcome to Hope Speak Academy. But why would this place be Hope Speak Academy? And not just that, what is the graduation exam? Isn't the killing over already? Well, we know how this sort of thing goes after playing the first game. Let's go to the gym anyway, see what he wants. Ooh, all the doors are blocked. Ooh, off. Shit, sorry. Let's go back a bit. Isn't the killing over already? Yes. Even the hallway doesn't feel like a school at all. What a creepy place. At least it doesn't look like a normal school at all. It's definitely a lie. There's no way this place is Hope Speak Academy. Is this creepy place the Hope Speak Academy that I've admired for so long? It's probably a building that Monokuma made to startle us, just like the fun house. That's right, that's definitely it. Monokuma said to come to the gym, right? Then I'll go, and definitely clear things up. Let's have a little look around a sec. Can we go through? Can we go through? No. No. It's being very obvious about where we need to go. Let's go shopping. Can't. It's nice to be back in an area from the first game. I really like what they did with this part, I do. The gymnasium is here, right? Alright, I'm going inside. Something might be waiting, but I'm not going to cower away anymore. And so I braced myself and cautiously opened the door. I'm glad he noticed there was a door this time. He's very sharp. Okay, chapter 6, finally. It's the end. Goodbye Academy of Despair. Chapter 6. Or 9, whichever you want to read it as. I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the other side of that door. Oh, we didn't even have to go through a little trophy room this time either. It was a normal gym.
Damn
Yo,
right.
Hajime.
Yeah.
You heard the announcement and came here too? You guys did too, right?
What's
Hey,
going
what
on?
you make of all this? One comer said this place was Hope's Peak Academy or something. That cannot be possible. You're right. Any way you look at it, it's impossible. Hello. How does it feel to return to long-awaited Hope's Peak Academy? You. Hey, where are we? Where'd you lock us up this time? What a shock. I just told you guys this is Hope's Peak Academy. There's no way in hell that's true. Oh, but it is. I mean, this is definitely Hope's Peak Academy. Well, what's left of it anyway? What's left of it? Didn't I tell you before? Unfortunately, Hope's Peak Academy fell to ruin. You were serious about that? I don't believe it. But of course it fell to ruin. I mean, they were doing things that they deserved to be ruined for. What do you mean? Anyway, I'm pretty disappointed. I went to all this trouble to bring you to Hope's Peak Academy. You don't feel surprised or nostalgic. Oh well, it's not like I did this for you guys. Even if you don't feel nostalgic, I'm sure someone's feeling nostalgic right now. Someone? Enough with this bullshit. Just spit it out already. Where'd you take us, you bastard? Well, I'm not certain of my memories. I believe we entered the ancient ruin and... It means I made this Hope's Peak Academy between the door to the ruin and the inside of the ruin. What do you mean between? What do you mean made? Oh aye, you mind's getting the grumblies that only knowledge can satisfy? Good, very good. It's fine to hurry along to the graduation exam, but it's in my nature to provide a little entertainment. Entertainment? You plan to make us do something, aren't you? It's nothing to be so cautious about. It's not like you'll be making life exchanges or anything like that. It's just a simple graduation exam. So, what's a graduation exam? Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here. We're obviously going to get out. There's no way we'd stay here. It's annoying. Just hurry up and let's choose. Let's choose right now. You can't do that. The main cast hasn't arrived yet. Main cast? Meaning you guys are just extras until the guest of honor arrives. So enough complaining already. Hurry up and start researching the outside world. What do you mean? I've dispersed all the teaching materials you need for your research throughout Hope's Peak Academy. Well, I don't think this needs to be said, but all the information is accurate and contains no lies whatsoever. Otherwise the main cast is gonna hate me. So please rest assured and strive to do your best during your field trip. As usual, after leaving us with his cryptic words, Monokuma disappeared. Even if the setting had changed, even if the killing was finished, he was still the same as usual. What's going on? Outside world? Main cast? Somehow I have a bad feeling about this. Like he kept insisting that this place is Hope's Peak Academy. But that's impossible, right? How do you make it back to Hope's Peak Academy from a tropical island in the first place? It's impossible. There's no place for Hope's Peak Academy to exist on Jabberwock Island. I said I wanted to go back, but I don't want to go back to a creepy place like this. What does this mean? So many things I don't understand have happened on the island. This building is really Hope's Peak Academy. This is the Hope's Peak Academy I've been admiring for so long. What in the world's going on? Damn it, why is this happening? Why? I was finally able to attend Hope's Peak Academy. I finally thought I'd become confident in myself. Even so, I wanted to become Hope? If that's what you're thinking, just stop it. Listen carefully. The only humans worthy of becoming Hope possess amazing talents and a strong will. And the moment you're born into this world, you either have that or you don't. It has nothing to do with effort. You must be chosen by Hope to become Hope. That's why it's not even worth admiring. Or were you so blinded by your admiration for Hope's Peak Academy that you couldn't even see that? Ugh. You're just some nobody from the reserve course who never had a talent to begin with. A nobody who forgot he was a nobody. That's all. If I really am a nobody, then you should have just left me alone. Why do I have to go through something like this? Hajime, did something happen?
Hey,
Now's not the time to zone out. Sorry, it's nothing. I don't really get it, but is that all? As long as I don't beat the crap out of Monokuma, nothing's going to be solved. Is that what it means? Just what the heck is Monokuma anyway? It's not part of the Future Foundation, right? If you say that, then what is the Future Foundation? Even though Chiaki and Manami are gone, Our situation hasn't changed one bit, which means the Future Foundation wasn't our enemy. That's the only thing I can think of. So they're not World Ender? Then we really were tricked by Monokuma. However, the Future Foundation is responsible for trapping us on this island, right? Regarding that matter, I believe Monomi never once denied that. Even if they're our allies, they might not just be our allies. Maybe Monokuma is telling us to investigate that information on our own. Jackie said she could not betray the Future Foundation. But if she was still alive, she definitely would have helped us. No, even her just being with us would have been a big help. So what should we do? Well, that's obvious. If we're going to get out of here safely, we have to do that graduation exam, right? Graduation exam, huh? I'm not really good at taking exams. Well, I guess it's better than people dying. Monokuma said something about a field trip, right? Is he telling us to investigate like we have been? Alright, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, we might be able to learn about something. About Hope Speak Academy, about ourselves. I don't care if we don't know anymore. If we can just go back to our normal lives, I'm fine. Hey, we can go home when this is over, right? We can finally get off this damn island, right? If that's the case, let's all leave this island alive by any means. Hell yes! He's right. Now's not the time to bemoan how unlucky I am. Where this place really is. What's happened to Hope Speak Academy? None of that matters. What's important is, I need to leave this island with the others. We sacrificed so many lives in order to survive just so we could do that. There's no way we can stop now. But Monokuma should already know that that's what we're thinking. So why did he say that? We have to decide on our own whether or not we want to leave Jabberwock Island. He should already know that we'd never choose to stay on the island.
Hey!
So what are we gonna do? Can we start already? But what are we even looking for? Do we just have to investigate this weird-ass building? Even so, I don't think we'll find the answers to all our questions inside this damn building. Well, I'll just go on ahead for now. Hey, you already going? What's that idiot thinking running ahead without being cautious? She obviously isn't thinking about anything. We'll be fine. There'll no longer be any situations where we must exchange each other's lives. So we should do our best as well. Like they say, it is not scary if everyone stops at a green light. If we stopped at the green light, we'd never reach our goal. Akane already took off on her own. It might be faster if we split up and look around too. Like Sonia said, if there's no more killing, we don't have to worry about anyone betraying us anymore. Then let's get this over with and go home. I'll go on ahead. I'll see you guys later. With those brief words, Fuyuhiko left the gym. I shall do my best to obtain a wonderful clue that will be useful to everyone. Now then, please excuse me. Sonia took a deep bow, then left the gymnasium. Miss Sonia! Miss Sonia! Please don't leave me. I'll be in danger if I'm left alone. Kazuichi chased after Sonia, who had just departed, and left the gym. I should hurry and start too. Just a bit more. Just a bit more and it's going to end. I can escape this nightmare and return to my usual peaceful everyday life. The only thing we can do is advance toward that hope. Even though I don't understand that a lot of horrifying things keep happening. For the sake of everyone who couldn't make it this far, I'm definitely going to go home. Investigate. Straight onto the investigation. Oh, hello. That was a nice easy one. Thank you, thank you. That seems to be about it. Are we going to go into the trophy room now or be teleported out again? Yeah, oh! We've been brought to the 5th floor. Huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but it's clearly different. Is this Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. But I'm not going to fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. He's even going over the words and it's quite hard to read sometimes. Hello. This hallway, there's a strange feeling to it, no? As if an invisible wall's been erected to limit our movement. Is it just me? No, not just you. Aha, it's got a map and everything. Just look around there. Oh, crap. Some waterfalls. No biolab. Wasn't that the room with a giant machine in it? I think it was, and there was like a stock room in the back as well. Not entirely sure where we're going, so it's just a walk around job, I think. Ah, the dojo. This was a really nice looking place in the first game. I wonder if they've changed it. No, it's still really nice. Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. I agree. Probably is. Just looking for Monokumas at the same time. because you never know. What's this? This is a manga. The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Hope's Peak Academy by Monokuma. Why is a manga with such a suspicious looking title laying out in the open like this? Let's start with history first, class. Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person. Okay. So just as I thought, Monokuma made this. That totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. I don't know who she is. Is it a real manga character or not? I picked up the manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It's an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy's history, as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Yeah, we know that much. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent. Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it's also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with their research talent. So they decided to implement a new system, the Reserve Department. Unlike the main department who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilises a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Peak Academy was now available to talentless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. With this, the Academy managed to amass sizable funds, began further research of talent. To create the Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. Ah, okay, that's why it got shut down, because of the tragedy. No? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that's suddenly cancelled in the middle of its run. Plus these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga. The tragedy, and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. These names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions the names, so I don't really know the details, but no, it'd just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those Reserve Corps students, right? That's weird. Oh, you're here again. Ah, the thing that's weird is you, of course. Or did you forget that you were part of the Reserve Department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that too. What do you want me to say? Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those Reserve Corps students. Or you willingly sealed those memories yourself. You wanted to become confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often, not that I know anything about that at all. You're saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it. When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. That's expected of a Reserve Corps student. Damn it, what the heck. Okay, a truth bullet, Reserve Department. You know they said it's going to be the last flash trial. I think that makes it blatantly obvious that there's one last one coming. If you get a truth bullet, you know. Right, so that's the dojo sorted. So anyway, go right from here. We haven't been this way, have we? What, class 5A. Oh, this is the no, okay. Thought it was the big bloody one from the first game, but apparently not. Okay, let's check this out then. Another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. So more about the tragedy that shut the school down. Wasn't the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga too? That's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident? Give it a go. I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages. See what I could learn about the event known as the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at the academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamukura. Izuru was a genius known as the symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students of the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who was known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of Reserve Corps students who had long been dissatisfied with how they had been treated, and the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Works cited, Danganronpa 0. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy. What irony! The genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that's too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent. Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. Seriously pisses me off. But ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. For Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so that I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here, it said that the Reserve Corps students in the Reserve Department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way, I have no reason to do something like that. Okay, tragedy of Hope's Peak. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident's really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Okay, let's go to that room then. Should take us somewhere else now, because everywhere was blocked off otherwise. No? I'm not sure where to go next then. I'm sure we've checked everywhere. Try down here again. Been in the dojo. Can't go in there. So back up this way. Maybe if we go through the door we came through, it'll teleport us somewhere different. Oh, I don't know. Oh, right. Going into the lab. Biolab. Oh. Oh, it's this room. I was thinking it's a different room when I was looking earlier. Well, what the hell's with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. What the irony of that would be in a morgue, essentially. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. Oh, I see you. Wonder if there was one in the classroom but I just didn't look close enough.
I've been found.
Oh well. There's another manga just laying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Good, we need that. Anyway, next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? I can't keep saying that. Just what was that incident really all about? Might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga, hoped that I was right. Story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as that. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Week Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the reserve corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Week Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet, and began spreading and eroding in the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. As it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times, when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realised what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coup d'etats began occurring around the world. A war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion or personal gain, just war, pure war, and because of that there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organisation, devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Week Academy, a group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Week Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. Powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. Okay. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, this is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favourite restaurant? What's happened to them? Hey, you seriously yelling at the manga? How crazy are you? Who would enjoy reading something like this? Oh my, you don't like manga? High school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy. Enough! What's this messed up manga? I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such a despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault though, thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains. This incident really happened, and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible. How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real. Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world. I see, so that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. As the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate, but on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here. He's trying to make us feel despair toward the outside world, so we'll want to stay on the island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope, just like now. Perhaps. No, that's definitely it. Okay, the tragedy. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this Ultimate Despair group? If they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope's Week Academy to its destruction, they're connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Week Academy. Plus, that organisation isn't just one person, but a group of people. If they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they're actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use, I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm at my limit, I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. It's so involved, this chapter. That was close, I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? Don't know, been everywhere, haven't we? Check the pet. Our pet's important, you know? Here we go. Good boy. Right, so the plant room, we haven't been there yet. If it's open? No. Where else can we go? We've been in a dojo. Can we go downstairs now? Ah, this room's open now. This must be the bloody one. I know it's around by here somewhere. Or it was, wasn't it? No, I don't know. No, I should ignore it. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see him. Okay, that sounds like a plan. Nothing? Okay. Hello for you, Hugo. When I went inside this room, that bastard bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. It's going to be shitty either way. So I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm going to deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either. Okay, come on then. Why hello Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well. You're pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right? What are you doing here? Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth? Should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place. High school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots. I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up. What do you need to tell me? It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. Surprise! It's about Ultimate Despair. Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days, it was originally a title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, feared person alive. High school girl? Lady Junko Enoshima. Junko Enoshima? As the former Ultimate Despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humour. Created the Ultimate Despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group. Hold on a sec. I don't know what the Ultimate Despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organisation. There's no way people would join some fucked up organisation created by a high school girl. Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it. That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power. Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place. So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralise the threat. Then what was that purpose? What? Like I said, why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do what they did without any purpose. Who's Junko Enoshima's despair? For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima. What are you saying? I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair. What the hell? With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the Ultimate Despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so, the Ultimate Despairs who were being recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Enoshima. Like believers making offerings to their god, like a mother providing food to her children, they dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Enoshima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed there was something that they had to do. There's no way something that crazy is possible. Do you know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Hope Creek Academy? Final days?
In other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history. Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the Reserve Department? They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 2,357 students of the Reserve Department all committed mass suicide. Mass suicide? All 2,357 students? Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. One person was excluded, huh? Is that me? I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate Despair, Junko Enoshima? It doesn't scare me at all. I mean, Junko Enoshima's already dead. Here she is, Ultimate Despair. Died in the first game. Reserve Department? Okay, I guess we can... Junko Enoshima is already dead. What's that mean? Why does Fuyuhiko know about that? Ah, okay. Let's talk to him before stopping then. Hey Fuyuhiko, is it true what you said? Junko Enoshima's really dead? What, you didn't see? There's a book called Manga for Morons Killing School Life in that bloody classroom. A bloody classroom? No, wait. What was that you said about the killing school life? Like the killings we were involved in, there were killings that happened at the Hope Creek Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her. Yeah, that's what it was. The killing school life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy. The manga about the killing school life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed killing school life was Junko Enoshima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Enoshima is dead. Turns out that killing school life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope's Week Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope's Week Academy, and she took away their memories, that's just like us. Apparently the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. Ugh, there's no limit to being a cruel arsehole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing. The students of Hope's Week Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko Enoshima failed. Junko lost to the student she placed in a trap. After being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko is no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter. Junko Enoshima isn't alive anymore. Then, who's our enemy? If Junko Enoshima is already dead, are the rest of the ultimate despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that killing school life. No, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation. If the students from Hope's Week Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to someone fake. But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? Cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere, just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life? Okay, killing school life. Ultimate Despair's been updated. Man, Hajime, you totally know about the story, huh? What? Do you have a problem with that? Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it. Oh well, I'll just raise the flag. Flag? What do you mean, raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that? One step at a time, you're getting closer to clearing my character route. You're not making sense again. Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise them flags like crazy. Okay. You do that, sir. 4th floor. Yay. Huh? It changed to a different hallway again. It's so sudden. What's going on to make something like this happen? No, I've already decided that I'm not going to be surprised. That's right, there's no time for me to be surprised by something like this. Okay, but surprised or not, we're going to be ending the episode off here, or we'll be going on all day. So, this has been Greeny XI. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in a bit when we move on to the 4th floor of Hope's Week Academy and see if we can find out more. I'm not sure how long this investigation is going to go on for chapter 6, but we'll give it a good go next time. Thanks again for watching, folks. See you again in a bit.